Blessings, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel, Beauty, Herbs, and Tea. My name is Abril, and I am a successful herbalist and herbal wellness entrepreneur with herbal products, herbal courses, and my own in-person herbalism school and retreat space. And here on this channel, I am teaching you how to do the same. First of all, shout out to my 10,000 new subscribers. If you are new here, you are probably here because of my last video that I did on traditional African American herbalism books by Black authors. Y'all love that video. Let's take a moment and stop what we're doing and hit that like button, because liking my videos helps push it through the algorithm. That also lets me know that you like this kind of content so that I can put out more of these videos. If y'all want me to come to YouTube full time, I will, okay? I will. No, so this video is a piggyback off of my last video. Y'all, the sun is in my eye. So if you see me squinting or blinking a lot, if y'all see me squinting or blinking a lot, it is because the sun is shining directly in my eye. So bear with me. So in this video, we're going to talk about herbs, traditional herbs that African Americans use. Yes, we have our own herbs, we have our own knowledge, and we have our own medicine. So if you didn't know, I stay on an 87-acre food forest. Yes, I bought 87 acres of land that I turned into a food forest and an herbalism school and retreat space. Well, technically it was already a food forest when I bought it, and so I just turned it into my herbalism school and retreat space. So throughout this journey of building my herbalism school up from the ground up, I was able to research over 100 different medicinal and edible herbs, and I study these herbs, and I study to learn about how Native Americans use these plants as well as early African Americans use it. So in this video, I'm going to highlight 5 herbs that were used by traditional African Americans, and hopefully this video comes out before the end of Black History Month. If I can get it out, hopefully we will end it with a bang. Okay, y'all, I had to get out of that sun. I had to get out of the sun. So let's go ahead and dive into some of these herbs. Now, a lot of these herbs are herbs that grow naturally here on my land. They are herbs that I have studied and that I teach you all during my retreats. And then some herbs are herbs that I cultivate. I have bought or purchased to cultivate on my property so they don't grow naturally. And that is the first herb I'm going to show you. The first herb is this right here. Can y'all see this? I'm gonna give y'all 5 seconds. What do y'all think this herb is? Okay, drop it in the comments. So this herb is known as High John the Conqueror root. How many people got that right? Let me know how many people got that right. Now, High John the Conqueror root was used traditionally in Hoodoo, okay? It was used in Hoodoo before we call it Hoodoo. It was used traditionally by a lot of enslaved Africans. They loved this herb because High John the Conqueror root actually represents a person. Now, if this person is real or not, we will never know. But legend has it that High John the Conqueror was an African prince who hailed from the Congo, and he was known as a trickster. He was known to outsmart all of the slave masters. He was known to encourage the enslaved, and they could just never catch him, okay? They could never catch him. He was always escaping. He was a hero. And so many people, well, not many people, they named this root after High John. Now, this root is used a lot, again, in traditional Hoodoo practices. So for example, I use this root in a lot of my protection bags. So I do wear mojo bags. I also use this root in my jars, so I also have protection jars. So during enslavement and after enslavement, this root was used a lot for luck. It was also used a lot for protection. It was also used a lot for strength. So you will find this in a lot of recipes for luck, protection, and strength. So for example, it's used a lot for luck when gambling. It was used for strength and protection while on a plantation, or if you need to be protected from somebody, okay, it was used for that. I use it for general protection. So you can find this again in a lot of your spiritual washes and a lot of your protection bags and things like that. During enslavement, it was actually carried a lot in the pockets to help people survive the brutal labor and the brutal conditions of slavery. It was also used after slavery as a confidence boost. You need a confidence boost in your relationship, you would carry High John the Conqueror root. If you need a confidence boost, you know, sexually, okay, you would carry High John the Conqueror root. Okay, let's go on a little field trip walk. We are going to the garden right now to see our next plant. Now, this next plant, it is the winter time, so I don't got a lot of plants growing. And this is one of the plants that has been growing. Well, we'll see the condition of her right now. Okay, so this plant right here is sage. Now, a lot of people associate sage with sage smudges or sage sticks, and it's important to know smudging with white sage is actually close practice to certain Native American tribes, and white sage is a sage that's commonly used in Native American smudging and or cleansing. So if you're going to smudge and if you're going to use sage, make sure you use a different one to respect cultural traditions. Now, because of this, white sage is actually going extinct because it is being over harvested, it's being oversupplied, and the Native communities who rely on that medicine aren't able to use it. So if you're going to use sage, okay, just make sure you try to look for a different variety of sage. People think that only Native Americans use sage traditionally, but actually enslaved Africans used a lot of sage too. So the way we use sage was both medicinally and spiritually. So while on a plantation, we actually drank a lot of sage, okay? We drank a lot of sage for colds, coughs, and congestion. Sage is actually amazing for sore throats. It actually helps soothe the mucosa. So we would actually make a tea out of this. We would drink the tea. We would also gargle out of this tea, out of a sage tea, to help soothe sore throats. We also would make a tea out of sage to help ease digestive issues while on a plantation. And we actually carried this tradition afterwards. In one of my books that I showed in my other video, I believe it is African American Slave Medicine, sage was actually mentioned a lot throughout that book. It was actually a lot of quotes from people who used to be enslaved, and they detailed how they always drank them some sage tea. So if you want to connect to your ancestors and be like your ancestors, go out and buy you some sage, okay? Now, spiritually, sage was used a lot in cleansing and spiritual cleansing. So we actually burn sage for purification. We also would use the sage in spiritual washes and spiritual baths, specifically in Hoodoo. It was used a lot for protection. You will also find sage in Florida water, which Florida water is a traditional African American preparation. It's used a lot in a lot of traditional Hoodoo practices, as well as other cultural practices, African practices, island practices. So go out and get you some sage. All right, y'all. We are going on another field trip to find this next herb. I'm actually walking in the wrong direction. Would you believe me if I told you that all of this right here is not just your regular grass, but it is actually medicinal? This right here is called wild garlic, also known as wild onion or field onion or field garlic. It goes by a lot of names, and yes, it is medicinal. And y'all, I have a whole yard full of this. I have a whole yard full of wild onions in my backyard. Okay, let's see if I can actually pull some of it up so you can see the bulbs, and you can see that this is actually onions. Hold on. Oh, there we go. Look at that, y'all. Is that not giving onion? In the smell, I wish y'all could smell this. I did not realize I was gonna be doing all this walking. I ended up coming to the back because being out in front was really noisy and you heard all the cars, so I wanted to come to the back and show you all the wild onion up close and personal. Now, depending on who you ask, they will either say this is a wild garlic or a wild onion. I think it looks more like onion than garlic, so I call it wild onion. And yes, I have this growing all over my backyard. I literally have a backyard full of wild onions. Now, you can imagine that our ancestors, okay, our black ancestors use this, okay, just like they use regular onions. They used it in replace of regular onions. So in cooking, baby, they was using them some wild onions, okay? So we would actually take this and make a powerful, potent cough syrup out of it. If you don't know, onions and wild onions is a decongestant and an expectorant. So if you ever have a bad cough, okay, a bad deep cough and the stuff is just not coming out, go ahead and get you some onions. You can either make an onion tea out of it, or what I like to do is I like to combine the onions with a little honey, let it sit and marinate in the honey for about 4 weeks, and you have a powerful cough syrup out of that. So we would use wild onions to make onion tea, as well as onion cough syrups or onion tonics, wild onion tonics, which is just fire cider with onions. So we would use apple cider vinegar to make these onion tonics, and we would drink it. We would take a little shot of little onion tonics, and we would drink that for any kind of cough and congestion. So wild onions was a great antimicrobial and immune support. Now, because of the strong pungent smell in hoodoo, onions was believed to ward off evil as well as absorb evil. So we would actually take onions and take a bunch of onions and hang them on our doors or in a room. So if someone got sick, they would put them in a room with a bunch of onions, pretty much. And it was believed that the onions would absorb all of the sickness out of a person. They would actually, for that very reason, put onions in their shoes. So they would cut some onions up and put them in their shoes, and it's believed that the sickness can be absorbed through your feet through the onions. So we use this again to draw out a lot of evil, draw out sickness, and for general protection. If y'all can smell this, oh my gosh, it smells just like onions. Oh my gosh. Oh, it smells like, I wish I had smell-o-vision, okay? All right, beautiful people, that is all I have for you today. And for those of you who stayed to the end, I have a gift for y'all, okay? So if you want to learn more about traditional African American herbs and herbal recipes, I have a free African American herbalism ebook. 100% free. All you have to do is click the description box, the link in the box, and I will take you to an ebook that I authored in partnership with Herbal Academy. I tell you about traditional African American herbs that our ancestors used traditionally, how we use it medicinally, as well as hoodoo. And if you want to learn more, I do have a wild medicine course. It's only like $67, and that course dives into 30 to 50 different herbs that our Native American and our African American ancestors use. And that course, I love that course. I literally take you all throughout my land, and I cover 30 to 50 of these different herbs and how our ancestors, our Afro-Indigenous ancestors, use these herbs. Now, if you are new here, I would love to know what brought you here. Why did you subscribe? What kind of videos do you want to see? Okay, do you want to see more herb videos? Do you want to see more herbal recipe videos? Or would you like to see herbal business related videos, how to get your herbal business up off the ground? And watch this video while you're at it. Okay, if you have not seen this video, if you have seen this video, watch this video over here. This video, I dive all into, if you want to get in the wellness space, how to host retreats, how to host wellness retreats, how to do foraging walks, how to host events. I dive all into that for my wellness folks. Make sure to stay safe, stay healthy, and stay blessed, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.